What is up, everybody? Sean the D-Man here. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week so far. We are back to talk about Auburn defeating Nevada 75-69 in the third round of the NIT last night in Neville Arena. And you know what? Yeah, it got. I don't want to say it got like hairy at the end, but got a little sloppy at the end of the game. You know, about like what's like 3 minutes left in the game, got a little sloppy, but Auburn pulls it out. Um, so we're talking about all that. And listen, Jovic was an absolute unit last night for Auburn. So let's go through the stats real quick. Nevada, pretty good team. I didn't realize there were 24-11 heading into the game. Um, that's probably usually good enough to get you in a tournament, but it is what it is. Um, they played great. I mean, they played really good basketball. Look at that. They get three guys in double figures. The 3-point shooting didn't hurt Auburn in this game like it did last week or this past Sunday against Seattle when Seattle made like 14 or 15 threes. I mean, in this game, 3, 6, so they made about seven threes. Wow, they went into a very deep bench. But yeah, they did. I mean, they play relatively good basketball. Auburn, on the other hand, pretty solid night. Jovic was just an absolute machine in this game. 18 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. He and what I saw with Jovic is kind of what I want to see more of him do. It's just as he continues to grow and get better at being a basketball, American style basketball. He was putting it on the deck. He was backing guys down. He was dunking. Yeah, I think he had maybe like 1 or 2 layups. At a certain point, um, he played outstanding basketball. I thought he played great, and I thought the past 3 games since he's been starting, he's played relatively good because he had 18 points. This game, I think he had like I forgot how many he had against Seattle and South Alabama. Keyshawn Hall, 14 points, 6 of 9. He was actually pretty efficient, even though he had 14 points. I was curious on how they were going to do the rotation because the first 2 games against South Alabama and Seattle, Hall was basically playing the entire game. So they kind of switched it around. When Hall went to the bench, Sebastian William Adams would come in, as that's how they did it. Freeman, again, 15 points, 5 of 11, one of 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Again, he's only going to get better, and he's one of the guys that Auburn definitely needs to keep. They need to keep him on the roster for next season. I think Jovic should be kept on the roster too. He's just with Jovic, he's gotta be strong with the basketball because a lot of times you see as he's like backing teams down. You kind of saw it a little bit last night where when he was backing down, he would look just to make be sure and be prepared. And then when he was double teamed, he was able to find an open guy and get them the ball. So he's just continuing to grow. Freeman is continuing to grow. Freeman did miss that easy dunk, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Kevin Overton, 7 points, 3 of 9, 1 of 6. I'm not gonna criticize Kevin Overton, especially what he has done the first 2 games in NIT with his 3-point shooting and everything. So if you want to say he deserved a night off, especially what he did in the first 2 games, I'm completely fine with that because you had other people step up. I mean, Tahad, 16 points. I mean, 5 of 13, 2 of 9, but two rebounds, 6 of 6. So, and Sebastian William Adams, he had a good game last week or last Sunday. Comes back 5 points, 2 of 4, one of 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds. Blake Mashalik gave you some nice little minutes here. He gave you some nice little minutes, for sure, and love it. And then Caden Magwood only played 1 minute. Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious. I'm curious about that, especially since we saw him with how he was the first 2 games. That is quite interesting that he only played 1 minute. And so also, so let's get the other stats here. We're about 50, 46, 49, 6 of 24, 7 of 20. What, they're about even a lot of this. Free throw, they went to the line 10 more times. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's 3. I was looking at the wrong one. Free throw percentage, 35 compared to your 25. Free throw, 12 of 17, 9 of 14. Yeah, you missed a couple of shots, but rebounding, even there. You won the offensive rebounding, but they won the defensive rebounding. And then assists, they won that by 4. Steals, you won that by 5. A lot of those came in like the first half, like the first maybe 5-6 minutes of the game. Blocks, about close there. You had 7 turnovers. You did get you got sloppy with like, I think 1 or 2 at the end of the game. But other than that, you did a pretty good job of playing clean basketball. You got 11 points off there, 12 turnovers. You got more fast breaks, points to the paint, 46 to 32, and then fouls. And I mean, Auburn kept a relatively 14 to 15 point lead pretty much the entire game. But I think one of the things is, like, when the announcers talked about it too, was that Auburn didn't really do enough to put Nevada away. Nevada was like still just hanging around. There was some moments in the second half where, from an offensive standpoint, it was just missed opportunities. Like, there just wasn't much happening. But that doesn't bite you here. You're able to get the win here against Nevada. So, but that is something that, you got, Stephen Pearl's got to keep an eye out on. It's like they didn't. It felt like Auburn didn't have. Maybe I missed it, but it felt like Auburn didn't have that Auburn run that you would typically see, where it's like a 2-minute, 3-minute stretch where Auburn's just consistently making shots and stuff like that, to just push that lead further and further. Because I think it was almost up to a 20-point lead at some point in the second half. But I mean, give credit to Nevada for being able to continuously hang around, and they made some shots when they needed to make some shots to make it close, but Auburn was able to pull it out in the end. So now on to the NIT Final Four. So Auburn doesn't play again until next Thursday, April 2nd. Where they're going to play Illinois State. This was an ugly basketball game too, by the way. So they're going to play Illinois State. Honestly, that, we got a week away. We got a week to go. So, and then okay, so your Final Four teams is going to be Auburn, Illinois State, Tulsa. Wow, they're 29-7, and New Mexico. You would think 29-7 would be good enough to get you into the NIT, but I guess, with your quad wins and stuff like that, it probably wasn't good. It's interesting. So yeah, your Final Four teams. Let me see. Let me make sure I am right about that, but I'm pretty sure I am. All right, so do this. Get out of here. All right. Okay. Yeah. So April 2nd is when Auburn will play against Illinois State. So it's going to be basically about a week before we see them play again. And then the NIT championship is on that Sunday, April 5th. So, which I mean, you can probably say Auburn is still the favorite to win the whole thing. Because I would think they're better than a lot than these other three teams. Well, I haven't seen Tulsa or New Mexico. So it's really hard to say about them. But Auburn should be the favorite to beat Illinois State. Like they should be the favorite to get to the championship. But you get a week off just to relax, rest up, and you got 2 more games to go, and then the season's basically done. So it's gonna be interesting to see on how things play out for Auburn. But happy for the win. Great job by the boys. Can't wait to see them next Thursday. Hate that we got to wait a week, but it is what it is. Football side of stuff, not much is really going on. They're just going through spring practice. A little bit of what did Coach Golis say? Intensity wasn't there at times. So, but that's pretty much about it. Nothing really to report. They hosted a bunch of recruits, including the number 1 quarterback in the country, I believe, on Wednesday or Tuesday. I think it was Wednesday. It's when that happened. So, yeah. But other than that, guys, that's basically it. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. If you're new, be sure you hit that like and subscribe button, comment below. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.